Sup Shredders, my name is Logan aka Spiderhands and welcome to an SP Patrons video where today I have the pleasure of reviewing a track for Wudi as part of their custom monthly music review, a track by an ex named Ray titled Black Banana. And if we switch over to here, I don't think I've heard Ray before. Apparently she's quite talented, so I'm keen to hear more of this. We're going to listen to this track from start till finish. I'm going to hear what we think. Oh damn, she can shred, man. What is that guitar? That looks like a Jaguar or something like that, or a Fender Mustang. Okay, so I'm gonna try not to interrupt this too much, simply because I know that we need to let the guitar speak, and I understand that when people watch it can be frustrating if people pause. But she's clearly a phenomenal guitarist. I can just tell within the first 15-20 seconds the technique is splendid, and I love the chemistry between the bass and the drummer and everything else. Clearly a confident performer. And the ultimate samples on the kit. Such a fizzy little guitar tone though, but it works so well for it. I love as well the chemistry between the bassist and the guitarist there, allowing them to have different solos and kind of shred around the place. It's excellent camaraderie there. Lots of love for that. Funky as hell, dude. And that bass line goes down to the 7th layer of hell, dude. It's so deep. Okay, so just to be clear, I'm kind of struggling to get some of these words clearly. There are no subtitles for this, so apologies if I don't have a lot of idea of what she's talking about at the end of the video. I am listening. Second note, that mic position is phenomenal. Good job to whoever the sound tech was that did that. You can see that her chin is up, so she's got her perfect, what's the word for it? Perfect what? I can tell I'm a bit tired today. I swear I've been taking care of myself. I swear I've been having a break. Perfect posture. There we go. Really good job. Great use of those funky sort of dominant 7th chords there, swinging them chromatically. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. So tight. Great sort of, I've said chemistry now, but how tight it is, the synergy between the bass, drums, and guitar is just wonderful. The fact that she can play as well as shred like that, and she can sing like that. Those occasional falsettos or head voices. So much personality to it as well. And drum solo. Wonderful work. Extended drum solo. This is how you work a drum solo. This is how you do a drum solo. What's happening here is that the drummer is not just showing off how proficient they are at the instrument, but what they're also doing is they're illustrating just how phenomenal they are at working the existing groove of the track into that solo. It can be a real detriment when you make the performance all about yourself, but the key ingredient that's making all these solo sections work properly is that they're keeping that tempo going. And you know why they're doing that? The reason is because there's a crowd there, and they know that they're playing for a fucking crowd. And that is what you do as a soloist. You keep it good for the crowd, you keep it good for the band, as well as showing what you're made of. That is the key to a great solo. Excuse the language, I just wanted to... I need to emphasize that, you know? Sorry to interrupt the bass solo here, I know that I'm pausing a lot. Can we just talk about the recording quality of the drums? Like, those hits are so sensational, pristine. These have a hesitancy to mirror the high mid-ranges accurately, but they do. The recording quality is this live performance is absolutely unreal, and I'm so pleased to be listening to it. Oh, he's tapping with his thumb? Why though? Why? Because that's a really interesting technique. It's almost like he's trying to slap it. Why wouldn't you just use your fingers? Like, usually you use your fingers like that if you're tapping, but he's not doing that. And you can see how much they're sweating as well. Like, it's wild. They're working their butts off on there. They're earning their keep. They've earned their bets and good stats for sure. Okay, I didn't want to interrupt that. I love how that was voiced. She had the intricacy and the freneticism of the technique of some of the other musicians as they were coming off with their solo sections. But what Ray, I'm presuming this is Ray here, what they did really well, they came down in that half section, that second half there, where they went back to that 12-bar blues, this kind of sort of progression there, the 12 bars there. And she voiced herself more conservative in the second half, which allowed us to transition more easily back into the chorus. It's like bringing people up, allowing that bell curve to simmer with the energy, and then coming back down. That's the key to a successful solo. A little bit of vibrato on her vocals as well. That was phenomenal. That was a fantastic set. Ray released live Orb. And this is the conclusion to my review of Ray's track Black Banana. What do I think this track is about? Well, I think I gave you guys a bit of a warning before. I think that the mixing on this track was good. And I think that for a live performance, I think there was just a lot going on. And she was singing well, don't get me wrong. I think the words were coming through just a little bit too quickly for me to catch all of them. I heard that banana na 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 na. That's a catchy as hell hook line. That is wonderful. Da 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 da. You know, it's a really well written song. I'm trying to do a really kind of nice constructive conclusion here, you know, or nicely structured conclusion here. I think I said that, but it's difficult because there's lots of things I'm excited about. You know, I want to talk about first and foremost the fact that I don't think this is literally about black bananas. I think this may have been talking about something related to that, or like maybe the concept of things going that once beautiful go bad or something like that. I don't know. You guys can fill me in the comments. Hang on a minute. And sometimes people are like, they're sad because I don't get the meaning of the song. Don't get me wrong. Like I'm maybe this is an unusual thing. I like knowing what a song is about, but I don't really need to know, if that makes sense. Like, I'll listen to it and I'll try and figure it out. And when people do tell me, I appreciate them letting me know. But I'm not going to be unhappy if I can't understand what a song is about. And to be clear, this is not a criticism of Rei's vocal technique. When she wanted to bell out those words, she did, and even the quiet parts, I could hear them, I could discern them. The words and the syllables were coming through clearly, and I know there were some parts that were potentially in English, but I just don't think I caught enough to get a full grasp of it, and that's kind of why I'm sort of a little bit sort of timid about going forward what I think the track is about. The thing about the banana going old with age and it being less attractive or delicious or something like that is my rough take based on like what the song's sort of humor could be about. I'm not sure. You guys can let me know. The vocal performance of Rei was phenomenal. The fact that she showed that she could play like that, and then she also sings on top of it with such personality, with such intense focus on giving the best performance that she can as a vocalist. You know, like her hidden choice voice is fantastic, a little bit of vibrato there. Lots of changes in the expression and the emotive response to what we were talking about there. You know, she was having fun, she was charismatic and peppy and chirpy, and there was all the things we needed from a front woman there. There was absolutely nothing missing. And we did hit those notes really nicely. And again, she's playing her heart out, man. She is not sleeping on that guitar, especially in those several different solo sections. Clearly a musician who's earned her keep, you know. I'm really thankful to be introduced to Rei, because I don't think I've heard much of Rei before, if I have ever. And she's a musician that I think everyone needs to watch, especially if you're into this kind of music. You know, a lot of people ask me, you know, like, what's the situation with rock and roll today? And actually, no one asks me that. I'm trying to be honest this year. I wanted to say that, but nobody asks me because everyone's talking about their own opinions. So I'm just going to give my opinion. I don't think rock and roll is dead. I think that rock and roll is alive and vibrant. You've just got to look for it. You've just got to go and find it. There's millions of tracks out there. You'll never find the last one. Go have fun. Start on the Spiderhands Productions Spotify playlist if you haven't already. The fan request one. Which I think there's a fan request live stream tomorrow, Saturday, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, no, her vocal technique was fantastic. Great expression, delivery within the verse and chorus sections there. I liked how she had great chemistry with different musicians as well. She'd call them out, like Battery and stuff like that, the drums and the bassist and stuff like that. She'd look at them. She was clearly focused on the crowd, but she also knew to consider her fellow bandmates, and she did that absolutely smashingly, and I'm very proud of her. It's exactly what you need from someone in a position. So the vocals, I think, were handled sensationally, you know. We had a bluesy sort of vibe most of the track with some dominant seventh sort of funky guitar chords on top of the absolutely, whether we're doing the slapping or the tapping or rolling around in those low ends with the octave, the parts on the bass guitar, they were phenomenal. And then the drums as well with that offbeat hi-hat, open hi-hat kind of groove that we had throughout, alongside the tom fills and various solo parts and the crash cymbal sections and the change in intensity there. There was such a phenomenal tightness to it. This is one of the tightest bands I think I've seen in a very, very long time. There was no sleeping on it. They didn't need to play as well as they did, but these are musicians who really care about their craft and who really care about providing the best possible experience and have it kicking ass and taking names, right? And I adore it. I think that they had obviously very polished band, practiced a lot. The song itself revolving with that really catchy hook with the banana, that part there. That would just float effortlessly between each. Thorough understanding of music theory and composition as well, by the way. The composition was tight. We didn't need more than these 3 instruments, by the way, to make this an awesome track alongside the vocals. We had enough change in instrumentation, not only because the key parts of the verse and the chorus were catchy as hell and really sort of effective, but also because we had these solo sections at the start and then going into it, the lead in, again, going between the guitar and bass, and having the drum solo dictate what things were going on in the latter half of the main part of the song. It's just, honestly, like, there was just, and it's because we didn't play the same note twice or the same sequence twice either in those solo sections. We had a wonderful sort of like commitment to like those tapped parts on the bassist as the guitarist kind of rolls along with them, and then maybe the bassist will go thump some chords while the drummer's doing some 16th note grooves on the kit, and it's just you know, you guys watched this, you understand what I'm talking about here. You understand what we're talking about here. This is the wonder and the magic of a competent music performance, a great music performance, a great live musical performance. They had it in the bag, like, for real. There was nothing they could have done differently. The SP Patrons videos I've done so far this year, all 3 of them have been damn near flawless, and this is including that this is continuing. And I think I'm reviewing Miyavi tomorrow, Miyavi, and I know that Miyavi is friggin' insane as well on the guitar, so we're just gonna continue having those good vibes. I don't have much else to say about the track with the way it was written and performed and stuff like that. I think that anything I could say about those solo sections wouldn't do justice to them. I would recommend you listening through them without my voice again, without me interrupting. The production, recording, mixing, and mastering was utterly sensational there. The clarity of the vocals, you know, even though I said the vocals, I couldn't hear the vocals that clearly, that was just simply because the mix was so tight. Like, we didn't have that sort of pristine, over-sterilized studio grade, oh, let's compress or sidechain the vocals to the rest of the mix there. We had a real band on stage now. It's rough and rowdy and raw, and I dig that, but the vocals are nicely filled and EQ'd, and when she belted out those lines, when she really put it 100% into the expulsion of those syllables and consonants, she absolutely smashed it out of the park. But no. I'm gonna have that hit for the rest of my damn day, dude. It's wicked. I think that in addition to the way the vocals were treated, especially in a live situation, the guitar tone with that fizzly, sizzly sort of overdrive there, the wonderful sort of caustic kind of solo parts intertwined. And I think she had it on the same pickup for the whole time as well. How she was getting that range is beyond me. But those fizzy sort of like really youthful and thoroughly sort of mind-blowing solo sections with the rhythm parts on those guitars there was absolutely no chill, dude, and it was captured flawlessly by the studio engineer. The bass guitarist there was a low resonance there that I didn't particularly mind because it filled in the absence of what was going on with the filtering of the guitars there, so they had plenty of room in that low end. The drums were sidechained with the kick to the bass as well. And the drums, every single piece of that kit, you could hear it distinctly and individually. And when you had all those elements come together with the compression on the bass guitar, with the fullness of the tone there, and just the maintenance of that dynamic range through like less is more approach to the overall compression on the master bus, you absolutely had an absolute slammer, man. Like, definitely, this is probably like a 9 or a 9.5 to me. I can never decide, but close enough, you know, like, it's, you know, just the leveling on the different instruments was fantastic. It was nice to wind stereo field, limited compression on master bus, nice and loud without pumping. This is my SP Patrons video, my review of Rei's Black Banana. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, please do check out their various social medias and a YouTube page, and stay cool and stay safe, and please remember to support your local musicians and artists at this point in time, as they need the help more than ever with all the crazy stuff going on in the world, and I'll catch you in the next SP Patrons video. Spiderhands Out. Thank you, Wudi, for another excellent track.